Hi guys, Jason here, Jason's Trucking Info, and today I'm going to do a video about one of the situations that can slow you down and can make it, it can cut into your paycheck because it'll make it so you can't run as soon. It'll make it so that your appointment times are going to get messed up. If you wind up having to pick up an empty trailer when you drop your loaded, if you're doing a drop and hook and there's only one trailer available and you gotta mess with having to take it to a repair shop, like a trailer repair place like I did earlier today. I had a trailer with lots of various damage on it that needed to be addressed, and there was even things I wasn't even aware of that the trailer place pointed out to me. I took pictures of everything, so this is going to be kind of a most of this video is going to be a voiceover on top of pictures I took, and I'm going to talk about the various items. And if you don't do a thorough pre-trip or whatever when you're dropping, if you don't look the trailer over good enough inside it, you know, just as well as outside and inside. It's not just about whether it's clean. If it's got damages in it, if it's got holes in the ceiling, if there's rivets coming apart, if there's parts of the floor that might be questionable and stuff. So this trailer had a little bit of everything going on with it, and I'm going to show you in these pictures and discuss them. And this is costing me. Part of this was my fault because I did not look inside. I did not get up inside the trailer and look around to look for stuff, for damages and things. And this is what happens when you don't do a thorough job of checking out your trailers when you pick them up. I could have had this addressed and picked up a trailer and picked up my load and been halfway to Houston, Texas by now, but instead I wound up waiting, and I didn't look in the trailer good enough, and they rejected my trailer. And that's what happens if you don't do a thorough job. So this video is here to help you guys. Don't do what I just did and be lazy and not get up there and check. Part of this is because I'm just not used to getting in and inspecting trailers that thoroughly, because I usually am just used to doing a walk around, checking lights and tires and checking for damages on the outside of trailers. I'm not used to needing to get inside a trailer and check it for damages and stuff that much, because most of the time you're good, but it is your job as a truck driver, and I failed. So this cost me miles this week, and it's not going to be fun that I cost myself a day or so of running. That was my fault. This is something I can't blame on the company. It was my fault. So if you do this, this is part of what's going to happen. And I had to go drop a trailer off at the Great Dane place here in Jacksonville, the Great Dane trailer place, so they could work on it. And then I had to go back to the place I dropped off at, and thankfully they had this trailer that looks like it's a practically brand new trailer. No damages or nothing. This trailer will be fine. I checked it out. I got in and I looked in the ceiling. I checked the side rails and stuff. So let's get on to the voiceover part of this video. Alright guys, here's one of the things you're going to be looking for when you inspect your trailer. You got to get up inside the trailer and look at the roof and look for holes and make sure that there's no holes, especially that pierce all the way through, so rain, whatever else can get down in there. This was the top reason why this trailer got rejected, but there were other things, as you will see, that was wrong with this trailer. Here's another thing that they found. They found these ripples on the side strip um, did a lot of they didn't like it because they go all the way to the sides and stuff, and they didn't know if this would mess with the product when they were loading because of the empty cans that they put in. Brand new cans, mind you, that have not been filled with beer yet. So they didn't want um, that to interfere with the loading process or to possibly damage the product. Um, Bump the cans off the pallets since they're kind of loosely stacked in layers. So they have to be very careful. So that is one thing that they were worried about as well. Things like the side rails coming away from the body of the sidewalls and rivets popping out, which I'll show you in some future pictures. But this was something that they were more concerned about with the side rails because they basically load all the way to the sides, up against the sides, and all the way to the back doors. So things like this is another thing you want to look at. Another thing was I saw a puncture in the front nose, which may not have done anything to exclude the trailer or to be part of the rejection, but I found this hole that would need to be repaired when I was dropping this off at the trailer place. And it was pretty size, like about the size at the end of a 2x4. And this was one thing that I noticed that was wrong with the trailer. And if you notice, it's all dinged up on the front there. So that's another thing you need to look for. It may or may not affect you with whatever load you are going to pick up. The guy at the Great Dane place that came in to inspect the trailer and for me to show him what damages I found, he found other things such as the a weak spot in the floor where daylight was coming up through, and he also showed me a part on the outside of the trailer where the side rails were warped, and he pointed that out as something that needed to get fixed. I don't have a picture of that, but another thing is when you go to these places, they will have what they expect from your trailer. There'll be signs posted inside at most places tell you what they expect. Usually, obviously, they want them clean, but some places are very meticulous about damages and things that can damage their products. Especially beer places seem to be even stricter than even most food manufacturers, and they will reject a trailer for a lot less thing than what even a meat packing plant will. So you got to make sure that your trailers are not only clean, but there's no protrusions, no holes anywhere in the trailer, in the roof, on the sides, or whatever. Nothing sticking out. And at this place, they pack all the way to the side walls and almost to the ceiling. And from the nose all the way to the back doors, there is no room for straps or especially load locks. And they wouldn't work in this case anyway because those things would damage the very delicate empty beer cans that they load at this particular place that I was trying to get loaded at. Sometimes you're going to look at the back of the trailer and you have more than just a handle with a typical lock thing that comes down and swings down. Sometimes you got an extra metal box that comes down over the whole thing, and then you lock that. It comes over the part where you put the seal, and then you can put a padlock on a tab that pokes through. On this particular trailer, it had one, but if you look here real closely, you can see how the metal tab that was supposed to go in the hole was bent too far over, preventing this from being able to be used. not preventing me from being able to run my load, but it was another thing that was damaged on this trailer. All right, guys. So when you're doing your inspections, it's the inside of the trailer as well, and you got to look for these sort of things. Look for weak parts of the floor, especially if you don't have a reefer trailer. Reefer trailers have a lot more durable floor, made out of aluminum or some different kind of metal. It's made out of metal instead of the wood planks like a dry van trailer is. And so you gotta check to make sure that the floor is not all busted up. Check for holes, and you got to make sure that there's no rivets popping out in the side rails. You got to look for things, that are messed up. Make sure there's no holes in the side walls, the nose, or especially the ceiling, and making sure that no rain can get in that trailer, especially if you're going to go pick up a beer load. If there's nails in your trailer, I've seen beer places be more meticulous than a food distributor that's putting meat and things that are very susceptible to get contaminated by all kinds of things. The beer places have higher standards than even the food service industry, and which is very funny that something that's wrapped up in plastic and is less susceptible to contamination than a meat product or something is, got more higher standards than, or less standards than beer. So anyway, so it's not just about tires and lights and the outside of the trailer and checking to make sure that it doesn't need swept out. It's more than that. You got to get in there, and don't be lazy like me. I know better. I'm just not used to getting up there and inspecting trailers that thoroughly, but in the future I will be doing so. And this cost me money, so it's going to cost you money if you do the same thing. So make sure you guys are getting up there and inspecting your trailer. There could be all kinds of things that could cause you to get your trailer rejected. So all kinds of deals that can happen, damages and stuff all over in there. Make sure that you're getting up there and looking for anything that could possibly get that trailer rejected when they get on there to inspect it before they load you. Depending on where you're going to, will depending on what their standards are. Some places don't care as long as it's fairly clean. They don't care. But other places, they don't want anything. They are very meticulous. They'll even be meticulous if there's stickers on the wall and stuff at some places. Some places are very, 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 very critical about what they accept and what they don't. So you got to do a very, very good inspection when you pick up a trailer. And sometimes you're going to be like me, where I had to take this trailer because it was the only trailer that was available to take, and I noticed some damage to the doors, but I was not checking the inside like I should have. I looked in there and saw, oh, it's clean. Looked in there and it looked a little banged up, but I couldn't see some of that stuff from just standing outside on the ground looking into the trailer. I mean, some of the stuff I could have probably seen on the sides there with some of those rails, things like that, but I wasn't looking for that. So I was just looking for obvious things, and you got to get up there and look more thoroughly than what I was doing. So make sure you are doing thorough inspections and looking for anything, any possible damage. And if you got time to go get that fixed or drop it off at a place and be able to go get another trailer, do that early on. Don't wait. Don't do to you what I did to me. Okay? All right. So that's the end of the video, folks. Just wanted to show you guys that. I want you guys, even those of us been out here longer, make mistakes. We all have lazy moments, and those lazy moments can cost us. And don't do it. Make sure you're getting out and doing your inspections. Okay? Check for those damages. Look for things that could slow you down and get you sent away and make you having to come back later to get loaded at a later time, making you have to sit around at a shop somewhere or something like that. If you contact your dispatchers and road service people early, they'll be able to help you out sooner and get you going and get you maybe taking that trailer somewhere to get dropped off at, to get fixed, while you go get another trailer and still be able to go pick up your load on time and be going down the road making money. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching.